If you're always the one who cares more, gives more, tries harder to keep the relationship together, it isn't because you love harder. It's because you learned early on how to abandon yourself in relationships. One-sided relationships, they don't start that way. They become that way when one person keeps adjusting, so the other person never has to. What this looks like is you feel something, but you don't say it. You need something, but then you convince yourself you don't need it and that's too much to ask. You're uncomfortable, so you manage their feelings instead of your own. In overgiving, it feels like love when you learned that being easy, accommodating, and low maintenance kept you connected. But here's the problem with this, because when you learn to abandon yourself, you train other people to do that to you too. And it's not because they're bad people, but it's just the relationship never required them to give you any respect. So you give more, hoping that it will be reciprocated. You explain more, hoping they'll finally understand. And you stay longer, thinking your loyalty will solve all the problems. And it never does. This is why you end up resentful and exhausted. And healing doesn't start by you just picking new people to be in relationships with. That is not the solution, trust me. The same pattern will repeat. This starts when you finally learn how to speak up for yourself, how to set boundaries, how to say what you want. And a lot of times, because if you're still with the person that you attracted that didn't require you to have self-respect, the moment you start to have it, a lot of times these relationships will fall apart because they didn't sign up for that. They signed up for the person that had no respect. So once you start to have it, they either will rise or they will be like, no, this isn't what I want. I don't like this new version of you, because that's going to require them to confront themselves. So a lot of times those relationships will fall apart. However, now you can heal, you can be on your own, you can learn more about yourself, because you probably have never done that if you're an overgiver and you just attach to people, things, projects. You're the helper, the fixer. But you need to sit with yourself and get to know yourself, because that's what it's going to take for you to really break this pattern and then attract the right person once you're whole. So being alone is actually a really beautiful thing for you in this season of healing, because you'll learn so much about yourself and what you want, what you don't want. And then the next relationship will be really beautiful because of it.